We've seen, broad-based deterioration across customers being able to meet their repayments. We're seeing it with households, as you would expect with where we are in this economic cycle. When we talk to businesses, if they're operating at that luxury end of the market, they're generally doing okay. More that value and essential end is okay. It's really in the middle where some of that discretionary spend, which has really been impacted by consumer demand, where they're probably doing it the toughest.
And when you say in that middle end, does it depend on the sector as well? Because we know anecdotally that the construction sector and the hospitality sector and even the retail sector are the ones that are doing it toughest. Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
we're certainly seeing toughness there, but even within those sectors, I'll give you a great example. Customer of ours who's in the sports retailing business, so selling sneakers, he would say if you've got those really high-end shoes, sort of over $400, they're moving within hours, under $100, so maybe those shoes that kids need for school or for sport, they're moving in a few days. It's that anything in the middle is really harder to move. We're seeing the same in hospitality and accommodation as well. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag depending on where you're operating in the sector.
The corporate watchdog ASIC's figures show company insolvencies hit a record high in September this year. Are you seeing some of that pain?
Well, certainly some businesses are in pain. Insolvency numbers are up. Some of that we think is a little bit of a sort of a leftover or hangover from COVID. So businesses that maybe would have been struggling earlier have just made it through for a little bit longer. We've seen, broad-based deterioration across customers being able to meet their repayments. We're seeing it with households, as you would expect with where we are in this economic cycle.
On the jobs front, the labour market continues to surprise and is still fairly tight. Are businesses still finding staffing hard, or are there signs they could loosen things up a bit now?
Yeah, look, shortage for labour, competition for talent, difficulties in attracting and retaining talent has been a real feature of what we've been hearing for businesses probably over the last 3 years. It doesn't feel like it's getting any easier. And in our most recent small business report, where we're looking at what are really the inhibitors to businesses growing, number one challenge is still showing up as that inability to attract and retain labour. I mean, we've got a customer in Tamworth in New South Wales, wants to expand and grow their business, expanded a store. They've been looking for 2 years to get a store manager into this business. And the challenge that means is that the business owners they're already wearing multiple hats, but now they're also wearing the hat of being the store manager because they can't get the talent. There's so much competition out there.
Well, NAB's own figures show that non-performing loans rose in the June quarter to 1.31% from 1.2% across all loans, business and home loans. Do you expect that could rise further in the second half?
Yeah, look, we would expect things to probably get a little bit worse before they get better in terms of customers needing support. The biggest message we would have for businesses or for households is if you do need support or you think you're going to need support, the earlier you can get in touch with your bank or your lender, the better, because we can help you get back on your feet.
And are you getting more of those calls recently?
Yes, definitely more requests into our customer support areas for assistance, and I'd expect to see that continue.
Rachel, Slade, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Alicia.